Hello YouTube. This video we're going to talk about the best trigger control exercise. This trigger control exercise for sure gave me the best improvement how I pull the trigger and how I reset the trigger. By the way, when I say trigger control exercise, it's including trigger pull and trigger reset. Both are equally important, so you can definitely pull the trigger, ensuring the reset without trigger freeze. Now let's dive right into it. This exercise does not need a gun. Now, let's talk about what you have to do to follow this exercise. The procedure is simply rest your hand on either your knee, table, doesn't matter. Just rest it and relax the whole firing hand as much as possible. And start moving the trigger finger back and forth, back and forth. This is about it. Very easy. The focus is that you're moving the trigger finger alone, nothing else sympathetically moving together. Just the trigger finger, just the, I'm not going to try to rub it, just the trigger finger, just the trigger finger. Now, this is isolation of your trigger finger. Number one, trigger finger isolation, just to move the trigger finger. Keep telling yourself, focus on the motion. And remember this motion of one finger, and during the time when you move, if you tense up the hand, tensing up, firing hand, tensing up the whole arm, none of those should happen. So stay relaxed. That's why I recommend to rest it on a table or your knee. Those are totally fine. And as you do this, yes, you should be doing as long as usually 30 times, because how many times do you pull the trigger? 1 shot, 2 shots, 6 shots. When you shoot multiple shots, a lot of people start tensing up more and more and more. So it's very critical that you do this exercise, quite a bit of numbers, so you are able to pull the trigger. How many rounds you need to shoot, 30 round course, you want to be able to pull the trigger same time, same manner, and hand tension staying the same manner. Now that's the basic one. Now this, I call this, by the way, air gun trigger control exercise. So basically there's no gun, but imagining you're pulling the air gun trigger. Now the second variation is actually having an air gun, almost like you're fully presenting and moving the trigger finger. And the third variation, when you go to the bathroom, pick a spot, maybe a doorknob, it could be a blur wall, it could be an actual target. You can definitely practice shooting on the move on the way to the bathroom. And of course, pulling the trigger as you're doing the air gun trigger control exercise. Because this is very critical to modify in this way. How many times you shoot one static target and have good trigger control. And when you start moving around, perhaps shooting on the move, a lot of people start to tense their body up, especially the firing hand tension can build up as you shoot on the move. These are very, very important way to do it daily, because you're truly developing is a nervous system saying, hey, when I pull the trigger, I want this to move alone without hand tension building up. So do this daily. You can do this anywhere. You can do this in the airport. You don't need a gun. Air gun, you don't get arrested. You can do while trying to fall asleep. If you have a wife, your wife might say, hey, who are you fingering right now? Well, just don't tell her who are you fingering. No, just say, just a training. And this is a real story. My wife actually asked me one time, and one time going to the bathroom, she was asking me what I'm doing. Just tell them, this is a real training. So try this at home. Try this while you're waiting for the red light to turn on the green, when you are in the airport, when you're bored watching a movie with your girlfriend. This is a perfect spend timing. Like I said, do this daily. I usually do it about 5 to 10 times throughout the day. Even if I have 20 seconds of break, that's perfect timing. 20 seconds of just trigger control exercise. When I go to the range, I just do this exercise one time and do a dry fire run and then start live firing, really trying to apply what I'm doing. Really helps to set the hand tension to stay normal, so relaxed. And when you pull the trigger, you're just moving the trigger finger. And the last thing is, once in a while, just actually do dry fire and put it down and then make the same shape of the grip. So in this case, it's more realistic air gun. So doing it back and forth, dry fire, air gun really helps you develop a more effective training even without a gun. If you have questions, put it down in the comment.